Okay, so now that you're working the seam, now please keep in mind for this video, this is my actual sample. So I am working with this gray yarn to seam it, which is the same as my background color. So it's not going to stand out for demonstration purposes. There are other tutorials that you can look up that will use a contrast yarn here to really demonstrate what they're doing. This is my actual piece. I have gotten started down here where the cast on edge meets the bind off and the selvage edge. And I am picking up one stitch along here, this edge. I'm picking up every single stitch. But on this side, I am not picking up between every single row because my ratio is not 1-to-1. I have 65 stitches here, and I'm going to have a total of approximately 96 to 98 rows here. And so I'm picking up at closer to a 2/3 rate. And what that means is that I will pick up every stitch, but I will pick up sometimes 2 bars instead of 1. And you can do a formula and work out exactly how you want to do that, or you can kind of eyeball it as you go and pick up 2 as needed. So I have just picked up this stitch here. And by picked up, I mean picked it up for seaming. So I've gone under the 2 legs of this stitch. Now I'm coming over to this side, and you can see my selvage edge here. And I want to go inside the selvage edge and pick up a bar here. And so that's what I'm doing. And then I don't have to tug it tightly every time. I'm going to come back here where my last seam thread came out of. I'm going to go under that leg and the next one for the stitch here and through. And then I'm going to come to this side, and here I'm going to come under the bar here. And you can see that I've placed some clamps along the way so that I can be sure that I'm picking up at that ratio and I'm not going to have any gathering or buckling between my seams or seam stitches. So again, if I see that's where my last one came up, I'm going to go back down and under the stitch, pull it through. And then I think when I come down this time, it's hard to see because of the way the stitches are here, but I'm going to see if I can go under 2 of the legs on this side. Back over here, under 1 stitch, the 2 legs, and pull it through. And then back here, inside the selvage. And under here. And now that I've gone through a few, you can see they're loose here. I'm just going to give it a little tug. Not too much, just enough to tighten it up. I'm going to keep going with that until I get to the top. So under 2 legs. And then back between the selvage and the pattern and pull it through. Under 2 legs of the stitch. And then back through over here. Tighten it up. And that's it. That's where your seam will be. On the inside, what you'll see is that you have your selvage here and you have your cast on here, and that's creating the seam on the inside. But on the outside, you really won't see much except that you'll have your vertical and your horizontal come together.